The people that you represent, it's unconstitutional what they're doing. They're not even following our Constitution.
I haven't been involved in the disenrollments at ELIM. I've had nothing to do with the disenrollments.
So what are you dealing with ELIM then?
I represented ELIM on a single issue. I'm not their tribal attorney.
You're not their tribal attorney.
I'm not their tribal attorney. I don't have a contract with them. I don't represent them.
So what about Tony Cohen? Is Tony Cohen the guy then? Is that who they're
Go talk to Tony Cohen. Tony Cohen,
because they're telling us it's you too.
You under the bus. You're a friend.
I have not been involved in any disenrollments at ELIM. I haven't written any letters about disenrollments. I haven't rendered any legal opinions about disenrollment. I haven't been involved in the disenrollments at ELIM at all.
So are you their counsel? Are you their counsel at all? For anything?
No.
For anything?
No. Well,
yes.
On a single issue, and it dealt with an attorney contract that was submitted by Little Fawn Boland for approval to the BIA. Had nothing to do with disenrollment.
That's what's going on. That's what brought us to this position. All we were asking is to make sure that, you know what, we follow our Constitution and bylaws. As traditional people, the people that are on the land, taking care of the land, doing the ceremonies, continuing to doing what we're doing, right now we're being threatened to be evicted and taken off our
I'm not involved in that.
You're not involved in that. I cannot see how you can be counsel and not involved in that.
I'm not their tribal attorney.
Who is?
Okay?
Who is? Who is?
Well, my understanding is that it's Tony Cohen.
Well, I thought you were his buddy. I mean, he would tell you if he is, right? He would let you know if he's...
I haven't seen... Tony Cohen has advised me that he is the tribal attorney for ELIM. Yes. Okay. But I'm not representing ELIM on any... I'm not their general counsel. I'm not their special counsel on any issues dealing with enrollment of members, disenrollment of members. I've never given them a legal opinion, rendered any legal advice to them about enrollment or disenrollment, about evictions on the reservation.
Because
none of it.
Because
and if anybody is saying that I am, it's a lie. It's not true.
You prepared the paperwork, you're telling us.
Okay.
My understanding is it's Tony Cohen.
They're throwing you under the bus.
They're throwing you under the bus.
Yep.
So I guess my thing is to...
So what's your stand on disenrollment?
Yeah. What's your stand on disenrollment?
As a native.
The other guy isn't.
I have, my position is, you meet the criteria for membership, you meet the criteria for membership.
Whatever it says in your Constitution, right?
If you don't meet the criteria for membership, you don't meet the criteria for membership, and there's a
process to
I'm not
follow,
in
right?
favor of disenrollments to disenroll somebody simply over money. In other words, because they want to reduce per capita payments, I'm against that.
How about if they're mad at somebody? Let's say I'm in charge of the tribe and I don't like it.
But tribes have...
Who are you?
I'm David Rapport.
Under their laws and their ordinances. It's an issue of tribal sovereignty. The tribe gets to determine the criteria for membership.
We also have Indian civil rights. And it states that it's put in our Constitution.
And you're entitled to notice, an opportunity for a hearing, to present evidence. That's absolutely right.
I just spoke with Little Fawn, and she said you're the attorney on record for the IBIA appeal.
Not on anything.
Little Fawn is on the phone right now.
Well, not on anything. Ask Little Fawn if I'm involved in any disenrollments at ELIM.
The appeal has to do with our rights that we didn't get when election time came. We were looked at as second-class citizens. We were told to come through the back door, and the back door was locked.
Segregation.
Civil rights.
Enrollment and disenrollment was not an issue.
No, I'm talking about civil rights on the appeal, about us being able to vote in an election.
I don't disagree with you.
You don't. So what's your name on the appeal for it?
The issue. I don't know if you're familiar with what the appeal about. What is at issue on the appeal is who is the lawful governing body of the tribe that has the authority to approve an attorney contract.
So how do you support that that's illegal when you...
Well, wait a minute. There's no issue in that appeal about who's a member of the tribe or who isn't a member of the tribe.
What about the civil rights of the people, the majority of the people who didn't get a chance to go in and vote? What about those people? Are you advising them and letting them know that, hey, 60 out of out of 100, what, it was 130. They had 54, we had 60. They would not allow us to go in. It's on YouTube. If anybody wants to go and look at our elections, it's on YouTube exactly what happened. Civil rights. Civil rights were broken. Segregation was put upon us. That doesn't happen in the United States even. And here in our Indian country, you're allowing that to happen?
You're arguing an issue separate.
No, I'm arguing the appeal that you say you have your name on.
You've got up here, it says Lester Marston disenrolling Native American families in California. You're not.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I am not disenrolling anybody.
No, you're not disenrolling.
First of all, I don't make decisions about
by not giving us the
But if you're recognizing that executive board, and that executive board is disenrolling people.
Priscilla, just like at Coyote Valley, Mr. Alcantara claimed he was the lawful governing body of the tribe.
But that's what
Coyote Valley came to me and asked for me for legal opinions on that issue. That's part of my job as an attorney. I render legal opinions on that issue. Okay.
But how do you recognize? How are you recognizing that executive board and backing that board?
How do you honestly? Yeah, because it's a paycheck, right?
Based on the facts and the evidence that's provided to me by the tribe and by the tribal government.
So by the tribal government,
just like you know, I don't. When you come to me and say
barring people from coming inside,
Corey Alcantara is not
I see why you
the chairman of the tribe and the law. I'm answering the question. Lawful governing body of the tribe. I don't go out and conduct an independent investigation. I rely on the facts and information that are given to me by the tribal council.
What about ethics? Don't you want to find out?
I'm the highest ethical person you'll find.
Do you? Why didn't you look into it? Civil rights were broken.
You violated their constitutional rights.
File a complaint against me with the California State Bar.
You violated their constitution.
Illegal or
You don't need a law degree to
We
read the
hope.
Constitution.
We hope you have it.
The whole thing is that you're representing the executive board, whatever they're calling themselves.
On the approval of an attorney
to
contract.
represent that
So you don't have one,
executive
right?
board.
That's what you're saying?
But
No, it's not my attorney contract.
You said on the
the
approval
issue on the sole issue I ever represented ELM in my private practice, not counting, because I used to provide legal assistance to ELM when I was with California Indian Legal Services, but the sole issue that I've been representing them on is whether or not the attorney contract submitted by Little Fawn Bolin was properly approved by the lawful governing body of the tribe.
Okay. So you looked into that to make sure that that was wrong, right?
Did
you look?
I'm not an investigator.
So you don't care. That kind of action basically affects all of our families. And exactly the position we're in today is because you know what?
The issue on that appeal has nothing to do with who's a member of the tribe.
It deals with who's being recognized as the council, right?
No, as who's the council, but not who's a member of the tribe.
So did you find out, or did you look at anything to find out if most of the tribe was there?
I was provided with information regarding
You gave them the gun, but you didn't give them the bullets. Tony's giving the bullets, and you're giving the gun.
These are the ones that barred us out. These are the ones that barred us from coming in.
He's claiming he's that he's the chairman of the tribe and the lawful governing body of the tribe.
But Lester, how can we try to mediate this?
Well,
I mean, because the disaster's happening. Why not try to sit down and mediate this? Do a peace treaty, and that's what we're asking. How can you help us do that?
Well, I can make again, I don't represent ELM.
I know, but how can you help? How can you help this be
That was an
mediated?
administrative appeal. The appeal's over. There's been a final decision that's been out.
Well, there's still appeals still on.
So how can you mediate?
No, there's no appeal still.
Yeah.
Well,
how can you help?
If Little Fawn's taken an appeal to the IBIA, okay.
Right.
I don't think it's an appealable issue.
Well, how can it not be when the majority voted for a different council?
So how can you help these members here to mediate this?
I wasn't involved in the disenrollments at Hopland. Thank you very much.
Robinson, you was.
Robinson, I was.
That's why
How
you're a
can we
scumbag.
mediate this?
Huh?
How can we mediate this?
Well, I make a request to the other side and make a. I mean, you can send it to me. I'll be happy to forward it on to Tony Cohen, you know, or to the chairman.
To put a letter to you to ask for mediation?
You can, but it's, you know, again, I don't represent Elim. You
I know,
ought to send
but
the
I'm
letter
just
directly to Tony
saying,
or send it directly to the chairman.
You know,
I mean, you send it to me, I'll be happy to pass it on.
Because you know what, just a little while ago you said you didn't have anything to do with any disenrollments. And then you just told
no, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said.
You've got a lot of cameras here.
You only heard, you didn't, well, first of all, you're screaming while I was talking.
No, I'm right
I was
here.
involved in the disenrollments at Robinson. They were lawful and proper disenrollments.
What, the Duncans? The Duncan people? Mabel Duncan won the case and then they disenrolled Duncans? You crazy?
Well, if I'm crazy, why did the Bureau of Indian Affairs uphold the? You had
the same reason why the Bureau of Indian Affairs basically goes
back. You got my mom's house taken away too, but we got that back.
Yeah.
What you're
I brought
doing
the
is
action and
affecting-
terminated
my sons
Robinson.
are
I brought
back
the
in the
action
tribe in
that
June.
got the Indians their money damages for the illegal termination
What
at
you're
Robinson.
doing is affecting people's lives.
Yes,
we're
you are.
humans,
Well, I
we're
always
people, we
render
have
opinions
lives. You know what?
affect
Looking at
people's
that
lives.
Constitution,
That's what lawyers
they had
do.
the majority of people were refused
Well,
to
you're
go in
hurting
and
people.
to vote
You're
the
making them
election
homeless.
in the
You're
appeal that
breaking kids' dreams.
represented.
What kind of human being
the
are you
majority
when
of
you do
people
that?
were barred.
While you're breaking their dreams.
People, I put more
And you put Mildred Goldforth
majority
out.
of people were
and she belonged
barred
to more
in
than
there.
anybody.
got
The
land
majority
back
of
for
the
people
tribe
at
was barred.
Robinson.
Was barred from voting in their own election,
election.
violated their
Isn't
Indian
that our
civil
right?
rights.
Isn't that our right to be able to go in and choose? Just because we disagree with
Well,
whoever's
you
in there or whatever, that doesn't give them the right for anybody to go in there and say, okay, well, hey, I'm going to strip you of your citizenship. That doesn't give you the right to do that, right?
Well,
Ethics. I'm asking you to think ethically.
As
you know,
a moral
we're-
society,
as-
as a moral society,
you're asking me
as you
questions that I
constantly
can't
say
answer
in the
because
media,
I've
moral
never
society-
reviewed your Constitution.
You went ahead.
I've never reviewed
You've never
your
reviewed our Constitution.
enrollment
So,
ordinance,
as an
and I'm
appeal-
not involved in the
How can you
enrollments or
not review our
disenrollments.
Constitution and deal with an appeal?
Because there was
Well,
a
you don't
singular issue.
care what
and
our
the
laws
issue-
are.
what you say.
You don't care what our law is.
I'm done.
That's why. That's exactly why. Because you don't care
I've done
what our
more
law
to
is.
defend tribal sovereignty and uphold tribal
with
law.
the
and
land.
tribal
Not with the
Not
limb.
with the
Not
land.
with the
other
limb.
person.
Not with the
Not
limb.
with the
Then
limb.
Why are we here?
No, I
If
didn't.
you've done that, then why are we
Shame on
here?
you. As an Indian
Why are
man,
the tribes here
shame
then?
on you.
Why are we here?
Shame on you.
Why are we here?
Why
You
are
have,
we
you
here?
have the
Do what
right
you
to
have to
continue
do.
to protest.
Exactly.
You're right.
Thank
Right.
you.
We do.
Shame on
we
you,
have
Les
the right.
Marston, and Les Marston
Shame
just
on
told
you.
me are lies.
Right.
Shame
Right.
on you.
Right.
Shame
That's
on you.
public opinion. That's public
Lying
opinion.
scumbag lawyer, lying lawyer, spreading the lies. Shame on you.
Enjoy your life.
Hope you live forever.
Island Buck.
Island Buck.
Island Buck.
Island Buck.
How do you know I got this? Hey, Mr. Brown. Just because you're louder than me doesn't mean you're telling the truth.
We are telling the truth. We are the truth. We are the truth.